In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, where maple trees whispered secrets to the wind and the sunsets painted the sky in hues of amber and rose, lived the Harper family. Elena Harper, a devoted mother with eyes like warm chocolate and a smile that could melt the coldest heart, had always been the glue holding everything together. Her husband, Marcus, was a sturdy man with calloused hands from years of labor as a mechanic, his laughter booming like thunder, but his worries hidden deep like buried treasure. And then there was their daughter, Lily, a bright-eyed 12-year-old with a cascade of curly auburn hair and a spirit as fierce as a wildfire. Lily dreamed of becoming a dancer, her tiny feet tapping rhythms on the worn wooden floors of their modest home, turning everyday moments into symphonies of grace. Life hadn't always been easy for the Harpers. Marcus had lost his job at the auto shop 2 years ago when the factory closed down, plunging them into a sea of uncertainty. Elena, who worked part-time as a school nurse, stretched every penny like it was elastic, but the bills piled up like autumn leaves. They had to sell their old car, skip family vacations, and sometimes dinner was just soup and stories around the table. But through it all, their love was the anchor. "We're rich in what matters," Elena would say, hugging Lily tight, while Marcus nodded, his eyes glistening with unspoken fears. One crisp autumn morning, as leaves crunched underfoot, Lily burst into the kitchen with excitement bubbling over. "Mom, Dad, the annual talent show at school is coming up and they're offering a scholarship to the winner, a full ride to the city's best dance academy." Her voice was a melody of hope, her eyes sparkling like stars. Elena's heart swelled. She remembered how Lily had begged for dance lessons since she was 5, but they could only afford free community classes once a month. Marcus ruffled her hair, forcing a smile. "That's amazing, kiddo. You'll knock 'em dead." But as the days turned into weeks, doubt crept in like shadows at dusk. Lily practiced tirelessly in the living room, pushing furniture aside to create her stage. She choreographed a routine to an old ballad about rising from ashes, her movements fluid yet powerful, telling a story of resilience. Elena watched from the doorway, her throat tight with emotion. "She's got your fire, Marcus," she'd whisper at night as they lay in bed listening to the creak of the house settling. Marcus would sigh, "But what if it's not enough? What if we can't even get her the costume she needs?" They scraped together funds for a simple leotard, but Lily's dreams demanded more. Proper shoes, perhaps a tutor. Elena took on extra shifts, coming home with weary bones but a determined smile. "For her," she'd say, kissing Marcus goodnight. Then came the storm. One evening, as rain lashed against the windows like angry fists, Marcus clutched his chest and collapsed in the garage. Elena's scream pierced the night as she called for help. At the hospital, the doctor delivered the blow. A heart attack, brought on by stress and overwork. Marcus needed surgery, but their insurance barely covered the basics. The bills loomed like mountains, and Elena felt the world crumble. Lily, sitting in the sterile waiting room, her small hands clasped in prayer, whispered, "Please, God, don't take my dad. I need him." Marcus survived the surgery, but recovery was a slow, agonizing path. He lay in bed, his once strong frame frail, watching Elena juggle everything: work, chores, and Lily's rehearsals. "I'm sorry, love," he'd murmur, tears tracing lines on his cheeks. "I failed you both." Elena would shake her head fiercely, wiping his tears. "No, Marcus, we're in this together. Remember our vows? In sickness and in health." But inside, her heart ached. How could they afford the talent show entry now? The fee was small, but every dollar counted toward medical debts. Lily, sensing the shift, grew quieter. Her practices became fervent, almost desperate. One night, Elena found her in the backyard, dancing under the moonlight, tears streaming down her face. Why are you crying, sweetie? Elena asked, pulling her into an embrace. Lily sobbed. I want to win for Dad. If I get the scholarship, maybe I can help. Maybe I can make things better. Elena's eyes filled with tears. Her little girl was carrying the weight of the world. Oh, Lily, you're already our miracle. But dreams don't pay bills. Maybe we should skip the show this year. The surgical line on his chest. Elena nodded. And our love writes the ending. Those words ignited a fire in Lily. No, Mom, I won't give up. Dad always says, Harpers don't quit. I have to try. Marcus, overhearing from his bed, called them in. His voice was weak but steady. Listen to your heart, Lily. If dancing is your calling, chase it like the wind. We'll find a way. That night, the family huddled together, sharing stories of past triumphs, how Marcus had built their home from scratch, how Elena had nursed him through a broken leg years ago, how Lily had won her first spelling bee against all odds. It was a tapestry of love, woven with threads of hardship. Inspired, Elena reached out to old friends. She organized a community bake sale, her famous apple pies flying off the tables. Neighbors, hearing of Marcus's plight, donated what they could. A few dollars here, a homemade meal there. You're not alone, Mrs. Jenkins from next door said, hugging Elena. Willow Creek takes care of its own. The funds trickled in, enough to cover the entry fee and a pair of second-hand ballet shoes. Lily's eyes lit up like fireworks when Elena presented them. For your dreams, she said, her voice breaking. As the talent show approached, rehearsals intensified. Lily's routine evolved, incorporating elements of their family story. A fall representing Marcus's collapse, a rise symbolizing hope. Elena and Marcus attended every practice they could, cheering from the sidelines, but doubt lingered. Other contestants had professional training, flashy costumes, and supportive entourages. Lily was just a girl with a big heart and bigger dreams. The night before the show, a fierce argument erupted. Marcus, frustrated by his immobility, snapped at Elena over a spilled cup of tea. I'm useless like this. What kind of father can't provide for his family? Elena's patience frayed. And what kind of wife do you think I am, carrying this alone? I'm exhausted, Marcus. Lily, eavesdropping, felt her world shatter. She ran to her room, slamming the door, her sobs muffled by her pillow. How could her heroes falter? In the quiet hours that followed, Elena knocked softly. May I come in? Lily nodded, her face streaked with tears. Elena sat on the bed, pulling her close. We're not perfect, Lily, but our love is. Your dad and I, we've been through fires before. This is just another one. Marcus wheeled himself in, his face etched with regret. I'm sorry, my girls. Fear got the best of me. But seeing you dance, Lily, it reminds me why we fight. They talked until dawn, bearing souls, mending cracks. By morning, their bond was stronger, forged in vulnerability. The day of the talent show arrived, the auditorium buzzing with anticipation. Backstage, Lily peeked at the crowd. Hundreds of faces, including her parents in the front row. Marcus, in a wheelchair, gave her a thumbs up, his smile genuine. Elena blew a kiss, her eyes shining with pride. As Lily's name was called, her heart pounded like a drum. The lights dimmed, the music swelled, a haunting piano melody building to an orchestral crescendo. She began slowly, her body swaying like a willow in the breeze, portraying innocence and joy. Then, the fall, crumpling to the stage, embodying pain and loss. The audience gasped, but she rose. Tentative at first, then with growing strength, her leaps defying gravity, her spins a whirlwind of determination. Each move was a testament to her father's resilience, her mother's unwavering love, her own unyielding spirit. As the final note faded, the auditorium erupted in applause, tears flowing freely. The judges deliberated, the tension thick as fog. When they announced Lily Harper as the winner, the roar was deafening. She rushed to her parents, enveloping them in hugs. "We did it!" she cried. The scholarship meant not just dance classes, but a path to a brighter future, perhaps sponsorships, opportunities to help her family. In the weeks that followed, life transformed. Marcus's recovery accelerated with physical therapy funded by community donations. Elena quit her extra shifts, reclaiming family time. Lily thrived at the academy, her talent blooming like spring flowers. But the true victory was deeper. They had learned that vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was the soil from which strength grew. "Our scars tell our story," Marcus would say, tracing. Years later, as Lily stood on a grand stage, a professional dancer acclaimed worldwide, she dedicated her performance to her parents. In her memoir, she wrote, "In the heart of every storm, there's a family that weathers it together. My mom taught me compassion, my dad taught me grit, and together they showed me that dreams aren't solo journeys, they're symphonies played by those who love us most." The Harper's tales spread through Willow Creek and beyond, inspiring others to hold on through darkness. For in every family there's a thread of unbreakable love, weaving motivation from despair, turning ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. And so, dear listener, remember, when life knocks you down, rise with the fire of those who believe in you. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning.